Hi, and thanks for logging on to the Daily Dvar. And here's a brand new Halacha for you, and it's for Monday, 25th day of February. Here we go. Today a Halacha about making Kiddush on Shabbos morning. You know, it's always best to make Kiddush on something like wine or grape juice, but you might know that there is a custom that a lot of people rely on, and that is on Shabbos morning to use liquor. And of course, we're not promoting that, but I just want you to know the laws about it. There are a lot of people who say that it's not an acceptable form of Kiddush, but then again, there are a lot who say that it is acceptable. If you are ever going to rely on it, you have to do it right. And I want you to know some facts about it. Typically, in order for your Kiddush to be a real good Kiddush, you have to have in the cup at least like 3 or 4 ounces, and that's a lot for liquor. And then you have to drink at least a cheekful, which is also sometimes a lot for liquor. And what people sometimes do is they make Kiddush over liquor. They, of course, say the bracha of shahakol, and then they drink only a tiny sip of the stuff because it's very strong, and that's problematic. Because in order to fulfill Kiddush, you have to be holding at least 3 or 4 ounces, and you have to drink a portion of that cup, a good portion, a cheekful or something like that. And sometimes people don't end up doing that when they have schnapps, and that's a problem. There are some rabbis who say that it's still okay, and that's because of the following thinking. They're saying, listen, when you usually have to have a cheekful of like wine or grape juice, that's because that is how much you need for it to be considered like a good solid drink. Schnapps, which is liquor, which is so strong, so even a sip of it is considered like a good solid drink. And therefore, they say, okay, so even when I have less than a cheekful, it's still considered okay because this is strong stuff. And this is the normal way you drink strong stuff, is to just have a sip. Here's where it gets interesting. So if you're going to do that and you're going to rely on that rule, and there are some rabbis who let you rely on that rule, but then you're going to be faced with this following situation right after it. Usually when you drink less than a cheekful or a tiny, tiny amount of liquid, you don't make a borei nefashos after it because it's too small to get an after bracha. But if you have been relying on this idea that it's a goodly amount, for vodka, this is a goodly amount. Well, since you just treated it that way, some rabbis would say that you also have to make a borei nefashos after it because you've just drunken a goodly amount. So speak to your rabbi if you're ever doing this and get straight all these parameters on having liquor as your Kiddush on Shabbos morning. It's certainly not your best first option, but if you are relying on it, check on the amount that you have to have and check if a borei nefashos is necessary afterwards. Thanks for logging on. Log on again tomorrow for more. Bye-bye.